Drinking buddies. So I got something extra special here. I wasn't expecting to get one, so of course I've already finished filming my best whiskeys of the year tournament. But we had to open it and try it against the other best weeders of the year and figure out if it truly is still the king of weeders. Let's go.
I'm your drinking buddy.
All right, drinking buddies. So we have here the 2024 WLW. It comes out to 125.8 proof, and it is about 12 years old. I thought it'd be very fun to compare it to the other three best weeders of the year, in my opinion. We have the Limestone Farms Private Batch, 113.6 proof. We have the Maker's Mark Cellar Age 2024, 119.3 proof. And we have Found North Batch 10. This is 123 proof, so pretty similar in proof. The Found North Batch 10 is 23-year corn, 19-year corn, 9-year-old barley, and 8-year-old wheat. That mimics a similar mash bill to, it ends up being 66 corn, 29 wheat, 5 barley. That ends up mimicking a pretty similar mash bill than what you'd expect out of a derived mash bill when they mixed it all together. Something similar to what you'd get out of an American weeder, out of a bourbon. This is not a bourbon, obviously. These other three are, but they're all weeders. What is a weeder, you might ask? Well, a weeder is a bourbon, usually, but a whiskey where wheat is the second ingredient. So the flavoring ingredient, the most, which actually on here, I believe there's more malt than there is wheat. But anyway, the flavoring grain is wheat. So anyway, long story short, this is actually what I would consider to be almost a shelf bottle. You can go buy this online right now. It's not allocated. It is kind of expensive, but I think it's worth its price. It's $190, and you can use the promo code LF15 in the description to get 15% off. They did send this to me. I have not bought a bottle yet, but I'm going to. I just haven't, things like this keep falling in my lap. So, and then, I just recently got this. This was, an expensive bottle. So I'm going to buy one, but things keep falling in my lap. And since it is a bottle that I can get and it is not allocated, it's been pushed to the back burner for now. But let's see if it beats some of these guys, because I have a feeling it will. The other three up here are admittingly unicorns. This Maker's Mark Cellar Age, the one I've talked about the least here, ends up being 15%, 12-year, and 85% 13-year. And when I put this up against the 2023 Cellar Aged, I like the 23 a little bit more. Yeah. Let's just dive in. I've talked too much. Some good, if you are interested in weeders at cask strength, and you want to buy one now, but you don't want to have to hunt for these three on the ends here, I would recommend looking for this Limestone Farms, or I'd recommend grabbing Maker's Mark, the Maker's Mark Cask Strength, which is about a $50 to $60 bottle, and it is a shelf bottle. There is also the Maker's Mark Private Selections, which are finished wheated bourbons at cask strength, and those are about $70, and they'll vary by whoever picked them. They have 10 different stave profiles to make a unique whiskey each time. Too much talking. Very sweet nose, a little floral, delicate. Not drinking or not smelling anywhere near 125 proof. Yeah. Delightful maple cherry. Really nice, really long finish. Kind of hot on the finish, but that's okay, not in a bad way. Warming me up. That is like a beautiful, perfect winter pour. Love it, love it, love it. That's gonna be hard to beat. I say that, and then the nose is a little bit better on the second glass. Palate means more, so. But the nose here, like I said, that one was like sweet and delicate. This is a little bit more in your face. This is a little bit more, some dark cherry coming through here, maybe a little raisin, a little oak. This one's a little bit more in your face. Oh man. That is really good. Beautiful mouthfeel. Really, really nice cherry thing going on here. Little oak, little leather shoes, like older bourbon type vibes. That did drink noticeably hotter than the first glass, but still very, very good. Both really good pours. Now this is a very honey forward, a little bit floral, a little bit buttery nose. That one so far has had the least amount of ethanol. Don't get me wrong, I'm a proof hound, but if something is tasting overly hot, I'm gonna mention it. The second glass was a little bit overly hot. This is a little nutty, but not in the peanut butter direction. This is like walnuts or pecans. There's a little bit of a syrupy thing here, but not like maple syrup. Maybe it is kind of like a pecan pie, because it's almost like a corn syrup type thing with pecans. So yeah, pecan pie on here. I don't know if I've ever said that on a whiskey before, but yeah, this is very good. These two in the middle are also very buttery. And when this one's got that baked thing, almost reminds me of like a freshly baked croissant, buttery croissant. So very desserty, a little savory with that buttery thing going on. Really good whiskey. This is an oakier nose too. This has got a little bit of a wet tree stump type thing going on. But it's also, the thing about wheaters, and maybe that's why some people don't like them as much, wheaters do usually come off as more delicate. But some people say that you're going to taste more of the corn, less of the wheat. Whereas rye bourbons, you're tasting more of the rye than the corn. So the wheat helps accentuate the corn. And I think that that's one of the things that makes this particular bottle so special, is it's got that really nice blend of the younger wheat with the older corn, and it nails it. Anyway, this one's also very bright, a little bit delicate, as I've been saying for all of these. But here we have a little bit of another one of those like dark, fruity things. So this is like raisins and dates on the nose. Oh my gosh. Wow. Does this have wine finish on it? It doesn't say that it has a wine finish on it, but this one, if I would have gotten this glass blind, I would have said like Madeira or port finish, something kind of sweet red wine finished. Because it's really giving me a really nice grape note. Like super grapey. We have 4 great whiskeys up here, and I think that like instantly stood out to me as my favorite. But I need to go through them again. I cannot go off of one sip through, so I'm going to go back this way this time. You know, this one ended up being kind of easy the second time through. It really stood out to me which one was my favorite, which one was my least favorite. They're all 3 really good. I really dig all of them. In fact, the one place where I'm a little bit torn is between 1 and 3, which one I like a little bit more. So, you know what? We'll do a little on the fly investigation. So this is glass 1. Glass 3. They are so close, but I'm gonna say it's glass 3 by a hair. But man, I think there's a chance that one of these guys, I shouldn't bottle guess, but I gotta be honest with you guys. When I think of something, I think one of these guys is the Limestone Farms, and I think the other one is the Makers. And if Limestone Farms is this neck and neck with the Maker's Mark, you guys got to go out and buy it. And once again, I'm not being paid by this in any way. They did send me the sample, but that's all I got out of this equation. When I find something really good, I really like to share that with you. That's why I included in this blind, and I knew that it would do well. Well, it could have gone in last. I don't know. Let's see. What was my least favorite? Oh, I am wrong about everything. Maker's Mark Cellar Aged came in 4th place. And it is a really good pour. It really is. And it has got a beautiful nose. It might have the best nose of the 4. Now I'm getting like a nice like cake frosting thing out of it, but these two are both higher proof than the Makers. And the Makers drank by far the hottest of the 4. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I'm a proof hound, but something at 119 proof shouldn't drink 130. It just shouldn't. And it does. It drinks a little hot. Makers is not a brand that I usually associate hot whiskey with, but this guy drinks a little hot. And yeah, maybe that's why they use the lower barrel entry proof, and the first cellar aged was lower proof than this. Maybe when you get Makers over 115 proof, it gets hot, because that's kind of what happened with this one. Great whiskey, not as good as these other 3. I ended up going with this one for 3rd place. That's the Limestone Farms private stock. Okay, so I was right about one of them being the Limestone Farms. This is just a truly beautiful whiskey. I can't, like, I have to buy it. I'm going to go buy it, because if I like it more than the Maker's Mark, and I paid $200 for this, I think it was I think this was $200, wasn't it? It's been a long year, guys. It's been a long year. But if I'll pay $200 for this, how can I not pay like $170 or whatever it'll be for that? Anyway, 2nd place, and this is kind of crazy right here, because we have Found North Batch 10 and William and Ruweller left. Which one did I place first? Let's go in one more chance for each. It's that number 4. Man, that grapey thing is just so strong on here. It has got some great oak on it. It is just a beautiful buttery. It's so buttery. Both of these guys are very buttery for bourbon. Anyway, butter bomb in the best way. That's got to be the WLW, I think. But anyway, our 3rd favorite was the Found North Batch 10. And so our favorite weeder of 2024 was the WLW. No shocker there. There's a reason this bottle is so sought after. I'm so glad I opened it though. When it comes to something like this, I know a lot of you guys get a special bottle and you put it on some shelf and you say, oh, I'll save that for a special occasion, and years go by and some of you end up selling it. And I would tell you, if you get a special bottle and you're really, really excited about it, open it that night. You never know when you're going to get hit by a bus. And just, everything in life turns to dust, and you might as well enjoy it. Share it with friends. Pop it and enjoy it. I maybe not take it to a bottle share, but if you have friends over at your house, pour it. If they want 2 ounces, let them have 2 ounces. Probably no more than that, because no one really needs to drink 2 ounces of one whiskey at a time. But, just share it. Enjoy it with people. I bet you the next time you see this whiskey, it'll be down to here, because I plan to share it with some buddies. When you get something like this, share it. Like I said, be reminded that you could get hit by a bus tomorrow. And it is a very, very good whiskey. I understand that sometimes as a viewer, it probably sucks to watch a video like this and see the whiskey that you'll never get win. But I'll tell you, a few years ago, I'll say 4 years ago when I started this thing, I remember watching a few channels like the Bourbon Junkies and It's Bourbon Night and things like that. And I remember they would taste stuff like this and I'd be like, well, I'm never going to be able to get a bottle like that. And, well, here we are a few years later, and I have 2 WLWs. I have, I got a George T. Stagg 2 years in a row. I've gotten a Thomas Handy 3 years in a row. I wound up getting a Dusty Handy through trade. So it's possible. It's a lot of work. You got to make those connections. You got to get out there and enter in a lot of raffles. I know here in Arizona, it's definitely possible to get bottles like this, Right now, well, by the time you see this, this will be over, but right now they're doing all the raffles at all the fries. And that's one of the best ways to get access to BTAC and Pappy is to enter those raffles. If you enter a raffle and you have your mother-in-law, your dad, your brother, somebody in the area that can come and fill out a raffle ticket for you, send them, have them fill out a raffle ticket for you. It doesn't hurt anything to have them win. Anyway, I really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one.
I'm your drinking buddy.